Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Twisted Threes. The world can be a dangerous place, and Twisted Threes is here to show you why. On the first night of February 1959, 9 ski hikers died mysteriously in the mountains of what is now Russia. The night of the incident, the group had set up camp on a slope, enjoying dinner, and prepared for sleep. But something went catastrophically wrong, because the group never returned. On February 26, searchers found the hikers' abandoned tent, which had been ripped open from the inside. Surrounding the area were footprints left by the group, some wearing socks, some wearing a single shoe, some barefoot, all of which continued to the edge of the nearby wood. That's where the first 2 bodies were found, shoeless, wearing only underwear. The scene bore the marks of death by hypothermia. But as the medical examiners inventoried the bodies, as well as the other 7 that were discovered over the months that followed, hypothermia no longer made sense. In fact, the evidence made no sense at all. One body had evidence of blunt force trauma, consistent with a brutal assault. Another had third-degree burns. One had been vomiting blood. One was missing a tongue, and some of their clothes was found to be radioactive. Theories floated, including KGB interference, drug overdose, UFO, gravity anomalies, and the Russian version of the Yeti. Recently, a documentary film presented a theory involving a terrifying but real phenomenon called infrasound, in which the wind interacts with the topography to create a barely audible hum that can nevertheless induce powerful feelings of nausea, panic, dread, chills, nervousness, raised heart rate, breathing difficulty. The only consensus remains that whatever happened involved an overwhelming and possible inhuman force. In December 2016, a CIA officer checked into the American Embassy Health Office in Havana, suffering from nausea, headaches, and dizziness. Days later, 2 more CIA officers reported similar anomalies. By late 2018, the number grew to 26 Americans and 13 Canadians experiencing nausea, hearing loss, vertigo, nosebleeds, and focusing issues. In all the cases, victims claimed that the symptoms were triggered by a strange noise they heard in their homes or hotel rooms. One person said the noise was high-pitched. Another described a beam of sound pointing into their rooms. Some insisted that the noise more closely resembled marbles rolling along the floor. The illnesses co-founded medical experts, doctors at the University of Pennsylvania who examined some of the victims, diagnosed concussions-like symptoms, but found no signs they'd suffered concussions. The Cubans vehemently denied they were responsible, and many American investigators believe them. That's because they still don't know who or what made the victim sick. Was it a new type of weapon? The CIA claims it doesn't know of any weaponry that could cause these symptoms. What about ultrasound? One theory holds that the pair of converts, eye droppings, devices placed in too close to each other by Cuban agents may have inadvertently produced such a reaction, like the kind of feedback you hear when someone stands too close to a microphone. But the FBI has found no evidence that substantiates that argument. In fact, ultrasound is above the range of human hearing. Recordings of the sound from some of the victims only added to the confusion. 2 scientists who studied the recordings believe they captured the sound of lovelorn male crickets. One of the scientists, Alex Stubbs of the University of California, Berkeley, says that the insects are incredibly loud. You can hear them from inside a diesel truck going 40 miles an hour on a highway. Still, the scientists have no idea why the sounds might lead to illness in humans. Maybe it's just nerves. Cuba is a high-threat, high-stress post, and one embassy official reported diplomats are warned that they will be surveillanced. They will be listening devices in your house, probably in your car, from some people that put them in a high-stress mentality, in a threat anticipation mode. True, but then how to explain what happened in China? In May 2018, an American posted in a consulate was diagnosed with the very same mysterious illness. Ultimately, 15 Americans were evacuated. While the seemingly airborne cause of these brain injuries is still a mystery, the fallout is clear. The Americans removed 60% of their diplomats from Cuba and expelled 15 Cuban diplomats from Washington, D.C. The mysterious sounds may well be the opening shots in a new kind of Cold War. On December 4th, 1872, a British-American ship called the Mary Celeste was found empty and adrift in the Atlantic. It was found to be seaworthy with its cargo fully intact except for a lifeboat, which it appeared had been boarded in an orderly fashion, but why? We may never know because no one on board was ever heard from again. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail for New York bound for Italy. She was manned by Captain Benjamin Briggs and 7 crew members, including Briggs' wife and 2-year-old daughter. Supplies on board were ample enough for 6 months and luxurious, including a sewing machine and an upright piano. Commentators generally agree that to precipitate an abandonment of a seaworthy ship, something extraordinary and alarming circumstance must have arisen. However, the last entry on the ship's daily log reveals nothing unusual, and inside the ship appeared to be in order. Theories over the years have included mutiny, pirate attack, and an assault by a giant octopus or sea monster. In recent years, scientists have posed the theory that fumes from alcohol on board caused an explosion that, as a result of a scientific anomaly, did not leave behind signs of burning, but was terrifying enough that Briggs ordered everyone into lifeboats. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit that notification bell.